Welcome to another episode of Spotlight. We have Lamar and Reece from 21st Century Repairs on the programme today. We're going to be looking at a very early stage business and the routes which you can go down to get funding and support and how important that is to you in a very early embryonic stage of setting up a business.
So we kind of started the business because, well, it was at a point of time in our lives where I was just finishing football and Reece was in a job working at a mobile shop in town.
Yeah.
And we kind of came together and thought, what shall we do? How do we capitalise? Like, we want to make it a business that's got an amazing, unique selling point, and just took our time to really think about how do we get in a market where there's nobody else can even compare. We was looking at businesses coming up on the rise like Deliveroo, Uber Eats, and was thinking
anything with delivery, going to people, more convenience.
I looked at these type of businesses and I thought we can capitalise on being mobile and obviously working on the convenience, and that's what's helped us a lot on the way, I think.
It's definitely going to help in the time that we're in now with COVID-19, because more and more people want to stay home and don't want to go outside, and that's what our service provides. We can go straight to their door and they don't even have to come outside. It's all covered up and cleaned, so it's definitely the right service at the moment for people who just don't want to go outside at all, really.
So Reece, tell us about the business.
So we started the business was like an idea when we was about 18. We were about 18, and then we decided to go for the Prince's Trust to get some help, and they helped us go through the enterprise program, which took about a year.
Like a 2 to 3 week, project where people from, business owners that will help you set up your business. So they'll go through like your tax, your business plan, your accounting, things like that, and they'll just help you, on your journey really to set up your own business. And then we went through like a Dragon's Den type pitch, kind of like a panel. So we had to pitch our ideas to 3 to 4 like business owners that have been in the game for quite a while, and we passed that first time. So we did really well. They said our business had a lot of potential, and after that, when everything was finalised, we kind of went through sorting out the loan and the finances and stuff. And that took quite a period of time, and then we started on the 9th of January.
Talk to us about the setback with Yelp.
So when we first started in January, we had an opportunity to go with the company Yelp, like an advertising company online that said they would help us get so many calls and clicks to the website. So we ended up doing that, and it was £120 a month at the beginning, thinking, it'll be, get a lot of leads and bits like that, it'll help us loads.
It told us the amount of results we'd get. We'd be like, yes, this is it, Reece. We're going to get off to a shooting start. But then after a couple of months, it was literally just
draining the
it
bank
was just
account.
flat, absolutely flat. We were just watching the money coming out every month, and was just like, how do we survive this month? Constantly, we've got to make this leaner, we've got to take money out, we've got to put money in. I sold my car. How do we make it from month to month with this massive £120 coming out? I mean, it might not sound like a lot, but obviously
at the time it was. When you just started out, it's quite a lot of money for when you're thinking it's going to help you. I mean, it was our own fault being naive to thinking something like that could do that. And the results that they were doing, basically, so you'd have the top phone shops at the top that had paid for even more than us, but we were underneath ones that weren't even paying. So
didn't do well at all. So that is probably our biggest setback. But obviously we've learned from being really lean and using our money properly.
Don't be naive. For the companies that say they can make you rich.
And if a company comes to us with obviously advertising, we'd 100% look at the reviews. Yeah. So we should have looked at that first. That's probably our biggest setback. I would say what I'd do differently is have a solid plan and stick to it from the get-go. It's always, obviously, the environment in the world is always changing. It's obviously what's happened with COVID and stuff.
But you can have like a fixed roadmap.
Yeah. So if like I have a plan, what can go wrong with it, and then I have like a plan B.
If you have like a notepad or something like that, if you're ever starting a business, always write down the things that you're gonna do. We both do so many different things on a daily basis that you're gonna forget the things that you've done in the day.
Yeah. I'd probably say if it was doing it again, I would say we needed to choose our roles within the business a lot earlier. Obviously, I do the marketing, Reece does.
It's made us speed up now from doing what we've done.
Yeah, definitely. So now that we've got set objectives, this is my goals, this is what Reece has got to do.
Think bigger from the beginning.
This is my only focus. I don't need to worry about operations. I don't need to worry about stock. I don't need to worry about SEO. That's Reece's job. So I'll probably say,
person's got it.
Yeah. setting up key roles a lot earlier on in the business is probably mine.
If you're a partnership, then you need to be able to know the other person doing set things. And if you don't have any roles, you're just going to end up doing each other's parts by accident.
Yeah, I think a lot as well. It was the start of it was me and Reece sort of like figuring each other out.
Yeah.
As well. Obviously, we've known each other for ages.
It's different.
But like, when you're in a business, it's completely different, and you kind of like suss each other out and try and work on skills. This is Reece. This is Reece's strengths and his weaknesses, and this is mine. Like vice versa.
Sometimes working smarter is better than working all the time, because if you're being busy to be busy, you're not actually going to accomplish much.
Yeah.
You're better off working like 4 hours in the day, doing absolutely doing really good work. Than if you're going to try and work like 6 to 12 hours in the day, just do the most amount of what you can. It's not going to be as good as the 4 hours or 6 hours of quality work that you was going to do.
Yeah, I mean, fully enough, I'm reading a book called Essentialism.
Yeah.
And it's by Greg McKeown, and it's basically like a disciplined pursuit of less, which is a really good book because he states that you need to work less but work better.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the quotes that stuck in my head. And I've kind of like tried to translate it into business as well. The point where you're working so hard that it actually is counterproductive.
Yeah, like, against what you're actually trying to accomplish.
Because people are stuck in the ways of working hard creates results. It's kind of hard for people to work less.
Yeah.
So that's all they've ever known, like working hard.
Managing your time as well is one of those hardest things to do. But if you can get a grasp on it, at least, it's definitely a good thing to do. Because if you can manage your time, then you can accomplish a lot more, especially if you break it down to sections. Because if you don't, you all over the place. Yeah.
It just depends. Like some people will take that too like subjective. Like I'm only gonna work 1 hour a day. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's like it just doesn't work like that. Yeah, it depends on like what working hard is and what working smart is. It's like
again, to time management, you just got to figure out what works best for you around responsibilities and stuff.
What's the best part of working for yourself?
Well, for me, I guess the best part of the job is kind of just like when we've got a customer that they've run over the phone's snapped in half, it literally looks like a train wreck, and then we turn up, we give them a data, this is when your phone's going to be repaired, we give them a spare phone, fix it, give it back to them, and then just their faces and their reaction, just be like, we've brought their baby back.
Their reaction's normally like quite good when you give it them back, because it's like you're giving them a brand new phone back.
Yeah.
Especially with like screen protectors and whatever else on it, they're dead happy with it. Yeah, for me the best part is probably similar. I enjoy just business itself as well. That's definitely the best part for me, is like not having to answer to anyone else but yourself. Although it's hard, probably the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's definitely enjoyable as well.
The biggest inspiration for me is probably like my family. That's the main reason why I do what I do, is to make sure they have a good life. And
is that your inspiration or your motivation?
That's the thing. That's what I was struggling with.
It goes into both.
That's both ways.
That's both for both of us. It's like that's the main reason why we started this. Is because we want better lifestyles.
Yeah, I want my mum and dad to never worry about money again, or my brothers to never worry about money again. I just want to make a life where they can literally just go wherever they want. If they want to go to Jamaica for 2 weeks, they can just go.
I don't know if I'm all the same, but it's like there's nothing that I really want to do, but there's a lifestyle that I want for other people, or like my family and myself. So if there's a lot that you want to do, you need to find a path to get on to where you want to be, type of thing. So if you like what lifestyle you want to lead, live. I'd say that's our inspiration, really, definitely. So like what we can do for our families.
Have you thought that might change?
Definitely, it probably will. It probably will change as we get to the point where they're all right now, so fucking think of something else. Like, but yeah, it probably will change as we get older. But as of right now, for me, from like 12, that's all I wanted to do.
Watching my mum doing days and nights consistently through 21 years I've been alive, she literally hasn't stopped, and it's just like I've just got to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Matt? And it's kind of like I just want to give them everything they deserve. Really.
That's where our inspiration comes from.
Yeah.
There's a better answer to that. Yeah.
But like when I get to that point, maybe it will be helping people that are less fortunate.
Yeah, helping other people. So it probably will change, but probably stay on the same lines of just helping other people that like want to get in the same position that we were in.
You started out again. What advice would you give 16-year-old self?
We are quite young anyway. We are 21, but for both of us, a lot has happened in that time. I say to myself, learn more at 16 because I didn't really care about learning as much because of how school was for me.
Yeah, I'd say for me as well, like find out how you learn as well.
Yeah, how to learn
Because
better.
I was going through school, I couldn't wrap my head around the whole sitting at a desk doing work. Like I just couldn't learn that way. That's all I've known since I was a kid. That's how you learn. It's boring.
It puts you off learning.
Yeah,
It puts you off
it's
reading or
so
anything,
boring. Especially when I was 16, 17, well, I'd say about 18 after sixth form, when I started like getting into my self-development books and reading more and listening more as well. That's really helped me in terms of my actual knowledge for, I guess, business and life in general as well. So I'd say definitely figure out how you learn.
But definitely advice is learn more at a younger age, especially if you want to go into business, because you're never going to stop learning anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well start as young as you can.
Yeah.
How important is social media to you guys?
I'd say social media is, well, it's where we get all the business from, isn't it?
Yeah.
That and Google. So I'd say it's very important. Is if you're not online of some sort, like now, then there's just not much. Like you're not going to be around in like 5 years. You need to have some kind of social presence, I think, to like even be anywhere, at least even a little bit. Because if you're not doing it, your competition's going to do it. So that way you'll just get phased out.
You definitely need to be on social media. It's definitely important for us. Obviously, if we didn't have a social media, I don't think we'd be here today. We wouldn't be a business today. We wouldn't, like, social media's helped us so much. Just getting that exposure out to people, obviously doing a lot of SEO on your side.
Yeah, that otherwise wouldn't see it. It's just pushing the brand awareness. That's like better than you can do with flyers, because people just put flyers in the bin now.
Yeah.
When we first started, we were like handing out leaflets to people in Arnold, like going up to people. I got shouted at.
Horrible.
Yeah, I got shouted at by someone trying to hand out a leaflet. So yeah, social media is definitely
not
better.
doing that again.
What's next then?
We've got a 5-year plan, haven't we?
Yeah, we kind of know like roughly where we want to be in 5, 10.
We've got
10 years.
We figured it out once we had that chat with you. We figured out, like, planned everything to how we're going to do it and why. So obviously the whole goal is to take over the UK eventually, and just have places everywhere, shops and vans, go into different places where you can have one brand to actually trust the phone repairs.
Like the 5-year plan is kind of finally getting a shop, getting employees in. 10 years is kind of, you know, distributing throughout the UK, obviously East Midlands, and then the kind of like the top of the top, creating like, do you know like how Uber run?
So,
how it's literally you break your phone, you go on that app.
It's with you in 10 minutes.
It's with like you can book a repair in. It's with you within 10 minutes. Phone's repaired. Boom! Within half an hour of you broken your phone's repaired.
That's the thing. If people don't have to go anywhere, they won't.
Yeah.
Like if you can stay at home and not go anywhere, it's more convenient. People don't want to interact with other people anymore. Not as much as like they did, especially within how the world's going to go now for the next 5 years. More services are going to want that, so you're probably going to end up seeing more like mobile hairdressers and people like that, because you can do a lot in a van. If you can go to someone else, you just cut out every other middleman that there is, because that means they don't have to walk anywhere.
So that concludes another episode of Spotlight with the boys Lamar and Reece from 21st Century Repairs. Some really interesting takeaways today. Setbacks when you first set up, don't spend any money, count every penny, and don't believe sort of the sales pitch that you're potentially being given by a sales representative from someone like Yale.com. A really important message, really important information, because when you set up your business, you have to actually make decisions that can cost money and be the wrong ones.